sexy, sexy peeps. I am Dakian. We're on day 26 of the May Painting Challenge, and I'm going to show you some stuff that I finished up yesterday after I stopped filming. Well, first off, I forgot to mention, I actually did the hair on these guys like a couple of days ago, in a kind of sandy brown or dirty blonde color. You can see their faces have painted up very pale, so their hands. I also went in and did their shirts and ties. The white shirts are done same as the white on the priest by a base coat of wolf gray, and then in this case I highlighted up with first a mixture of gray and white, and then finally pure white. I also did the ties in black and a slight highlight of dark gray to give them just a little bit of a sheen. So let's put these guys aside for a second and let's look at this guy. And he's very dark. This is because I wanted to show you the difference between washes and inks. I mentioned that this is an actual ink. He has actually been coated with this ink. And if you can tell, let's see, on his hands here. Don't know if that's obvious or not, but it has actually crept in between the fingers and made those portions slightly darker, but it has still stained the entire surface. An ink does that, a wash will not do that. So now I'm going to go in and do a base coat of this color, dark flesh tone, which is kind of a rather reddish brown. Let's see how if this is any different. It's actually pretty close to the ink. I'm gonna have to add some more paint. I watered it down too much. But while we're on the subject of rambling, the question of the day: what's the strangest food you've ever eaten? Where were you? And I thought, hey, I've never eaten anything really strange or exotic. That's boring. But then I realized that some foods I've eaten that are traditional to Sweden might seem really odd to people from other countries. In fact, I know so. So the strangest thing to most people in the world that I've ever eaten is something we call surströmming, which means sour herring. It's fermented herring, essentially. And it is really, really, well, gross, actually. It's kind of hard to describe. It smells awful. It doesn't taste quite as bad, possibly because by the time you actually get around to putting it in your mouth, the stench of it has kind of desensitized you a bit. If you want to see what it's like for a non-Swede to eat it, actually, you can go to the Mini Wargaming channel. Those guys do these food challenges where they sort of try to eat weird stuff from all around the world, and the latest one was actually surströmming. So they have done it, and they gagged on it for the most part. They were not happy campers at having to eat that stuff. This dark flesh tone is actually pretty close to the skin wash. I mean the skin ink. And it's not a black color, it's just really, really dark brown. But that's okay. Today I don't have a huge amount of time to paint. I'm gonna try to finish up the skin tones on this guy. Now I've already done his shirt, so after that all of the guys will be at the same level of completion, at least. So that's a good start going into well, coming to the end of week 4, actually. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is to do my normal highlighting scheme. I will be combining the dark flesh tone with tan. Tan is going to be the highlight color. Because again, these are kind of similar, ruddy browns. This one is lighter, obviously. And I'll highlight this up and I'll get back to you when I'm done. And there we are. Highlighted, and I toned them down again. I couldn't resist. I didn't want the highlights to be too in your face, haha, so to speak. So I toned it back down with some Armor Painter Strong Tone. And then I also just tinted his lower lip with Druchii Violet. And I'm gonna call it good. I'm calling this a day. Tomorrow, my plan is to do pants. I've gone away from the idea of making one miniature at a time, and I'm doing similar parts of each of these. All their pants, they're gonna be different colors, but I'm going to do all their pants tomorrow. That's my objective. And on Thursday, possibly the little details, the stuff they're holding in their hands, the flashlights, the gun, the staff, and the camera. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everything else. So, we'll see. But, now you've seen this, I'll see you again tomorrow. So until then, this is Dakian, signing off.